Jake looks a lot different this time around, huh, Liam?
Yeah, I mean, he he was like you. He took a weekend off, went and got some work done, and now he's back.
But in all seriousness, maybe the biggest guest we've ever had in Pod on Lansdowne history, wouldn't you say, Mr. Fennessy?
Everyone's saying it. They're shouting it on the streets
You're
outside
hearing it
in the
more
neighborhood.
and more. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the first Boston Red Sox-based podcast to have not only the 5-time MVP of Danceworks Studios in Quincy, Massachusetts, not only the one-time recipient of a chipped tooth while playing Mario Kart Wii, and she flicked the plastic wheel up and got her right in the mouth. True story, Liam. Not only that, we got the inspiration behind why Sweet Caroline is played on Jersey Street at Fenway Park each and every night. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Sweet Caroline Fitzpatrick onto the podcast. Welcome to the show, Caroline.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here.
First,
it only took ESPN to get on the show.
ESPN got the scoop from us.
Can I get an episode once as a treat? I'm like, you can beat them to the punch, but worth the wait. Very excited to be here this evening. Thank you.
Well, let me ask the first question for people who may not be aware. How do you know me?
You are my big brother.
Yes, I am.
You're married to Missy Mo, so in turn, I guess I am Sissy Mo.
Sissy Mo Pena, there you go. And as the name suggests, I am not Sweet Caroline. It's been wild. For those who missed it, this debuted Sunday morning on ESPN. You can go on YouTube, just type in SportsCenter, Where It Began, aka the first 3 words of the song Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond. Goes into the history of, oh my god, like this song is played at sports games all over the world at this point, but where it started was with a guy who worked at Fenway Park by the name of Cal?
Big Billy Fitzpatrick.
Large William Fitzpatrick worked at Fenway, had a daughter named Caroline, born in December of 98. By the way, did you notice that Dad kind of had a slight hesitation? He went December 10th, 1990. Did you notice that?
Yes, and a fun fact for the listeners at home, those who may not know, my mom's birthday is December 9th.
So I don't necessarily blame Dad having like a quick time video game event. You know what I mean?
In his defense, I will say, was like the camera crew it was a very professional setup, and it is like it's a little, not just like intimidating. I don't think but you're kind of like, oh my god, like this is like very legit, and it's like, and you kind of like lose yourself for a second there. So yeah. I won't give him too much of a hard time, but
it's much more of a casual.
Know my birthday.
There you go. Yeah. Big Billy Fitz, certified good dad. Yeah. I can't. We'll get into the actual, ESPN coming to the house in Quincy stuff later on. Don't you worry. But to start out, I mean, man, this is that had to have been stressful. But this is a much more casual atmosphere, Cal. So you'll be okay. By the way, if you ever hear me say Cal, that's her nickname.
Yeah,
she's Caroline. She's Sweet Caroline, but she's Cal. If I'm talking to her. Yeah. First question though for you, Cal, to start off here, just to kind of give us some background leading into this from your perspective over your time here on Earth. I want to know about your relationship to the song Sweet Caroline and its association with Fenway and the Red Sox. What has it been like to, even if not everybody knew it, to have been the Boston equivalent, the Boston Sweet Caroline?
Yeah, I've had a lot of big feelings with it. It's been a journey. When I was little, I detested it. I hated it so much. And respectfully, I'm not a seasoned listener to Neil Diamond's discography. It's not in my repertoire, so it's not a song that I go to, but I can appreciate it for what it is. So I did my first interview, I believe, with Nesson back in 2005. So it was almost exactly 20 years ago. I was in kindergarten.
Yeah, dirty little secret. The ESPN was not even the first one to this story.
No.
Whoa, I didn't know that. I didn't know this part.
This was on the Red Sox report way back in the day.
Yes, sir. And I remember I did not want to do it because our mom tried to bribe me. She's like, hey, Cal, you'll get to... You don't have to go to school on this day if you do the interview. And I was in kindergarten. And I'm like, hell no, I'm not missing school. I got coloring at 12. I got Play-Doh at 1. I got places to be, babe. And then
kindergarten was sick.
She's like, well, you can skip school and I will take you to Build-A-Bear. And I was like, bitch, I'm in. Like, say less.
Good deal. It's a good deal.
I don't like to like I don't want to say that I accept bribes, but I am very like reward incentive oriented. So
Everyone's got a price.
yeah, everyone's got a price. And for 6-year-old Caroline, it was a Build-A-Bear that day, but I had to get it in a pink Red Sox jersey to match mine. So we did the interview, and I was actually watching we have a DVD copy of it, and I was watching a clip of it yesterday because
It's lost media, I think, outside of that.
well, most of it's lost, but there is a snippet of it that I made not lost. I made a TikTok where it was like a little clip of baby me in the interview and then grown up me interviewing with ESPN, and it was Tonight Changes by One Direction, because one thing about me, I am still very much so a Directioner. So had to like, it was a good opportunity for like a cute, wholesome little something on the For You page.
Wait, so did you get to sit down with like TC? Like Fitz, I got to know who.
It wasn't
who
TC.
Put it together with Nessa?
some
press room.
Yeah, it was in the press conference room, Liam, like with the brick wall and everything like that. By the way, Riss in the chat going, yes, 1D.
We got a lot of
1D.
1D heads in the chat tonight.
Cal, that's Liam's.
unironically
That's Liam's girlfriend, by the way. That's shout out Riss. But yeah, no, it wasn't TC. And God forgive me, I can't remember exactly who was doing the interviews. I don't know off the top of my head, but it ended up being a good piece. And now we're here about 20 years later with a bigger audience with ESPN and social media blowing it up. At some point, Cal, this was bound to come out to a larger audience. But
yeah.
before this, this timeline altering event on Sunday, how many people would you tell this dirty little secret to? Did you use it as like the ultimate 2 truths and a lie breakout, or how many people would you inform about this?
Well, okay, so this is kind of where the journey is. So I was definitely a much more shy child. And I remember like a couple weeks after the interview, my mom brought the tape in and they were like, oh, we're going to show your class. And I was like, I would rather eat a
showed it to my class too.
Like,
it's not even my story to tell. They showed my class.
Yeah, no, I wanted nothing to do with it. And then I don't think it helped that like a year later, Hannah Montana kind of became part of like the cultural zeitgeist. So I was like, she's just like me for real. She has a secret famous identity.
Hugging the TV, just like.
And like I was very pressed about like who knew. And I remember at Fitz and I's elementary school, I was in like 2nd grade. You were in 5th grade, and it was like a school-wide tradition where every opening day, they would have like a student versus teacher wiffle ball game, and the school caf just whipped up more of those glizzies that were just fucking boomerangs. You threw them on the floor, ricochet back, just completely inedible. I could only imagine, but feeding those children.
One of the finest in Quincy.
Yeah. So then Sweet Caroline comes on. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's you!" And I was like, "No, absolutely not." I rebuked this. So yeah, I played a DL for a while, and then I told a friend of mine in high school who then was like, "Oh," because at my high school it was like fun fact of the day. They had like a bender where it was like, submit a fun fact about yourself or like another student, and then she told the school to put it over the school announcements, and I was like, I did not want this.
Out.
I was like, no one proceed. I get like, I'd say a K to 11.5. I was just like, absolutely not. Like if I went to a Red Sox game, like I would just get a pit in my stomach before you're like, I'm just like, oh no. I'm like, and I knew it was just like a minute, but I'm like, nope, I want nothing.
Suddenly
like,
got to go to the bathroom in the middle of the eighth.
I suddenly need to go to the bathroom. I suddenly need a sweet treat. Like one of the reasons why I liked a Brockton Rocks game as a child, A, they didn't really play Sweet Caroline, and B, they had like the moon bounces on the outside of the park, so I could like, side quested out.
You could get away.
Yeah, Liam, she wasn't totally interested in the game itself, I must say. That was more her older brother's lane,
yeah.
I would say.
Sweet Caroline and baseball are two things that I've definitely grown to embrace more, and I think they've kind of gone hand in hand. But then it was around the time I started applying for colleges, and with the Common App essay, they give you like 5 prompts that are purposely very vague, so like anyone can do with it as they will and apply it to their life and stuff. And I was like, I genuinely haven't a clue on what to write. And my mom was like, as if there's not a giant light bulb over your head, like you have one thing that only you can
nobody
write
else does.
no one else can. So then that's where I was like, aha, okay. So then I wrote that. I actually did a deep dive through my Gmail back to 2016 to find my Common App essay, and it got cut from the segment, but I did read like a few lines from it just so they had some like extra material to work with. And then
material, like you're doing a stand-up bit. We joked off that before you continue. We did joke that this is Cal's soft launch into having an offshoot podcast
I have
for
a
PLL Media.
Audience, like buckle up.
This is our spin-off.
Yeah. Put me in, coach. So where did I lost my train of thought, I get into college. Hooray!
Great day to be a Wildcat.
Every day is a great day to be a Wildcat. Shout out UNH class of 2021. And from there, I definitely used it in some orientation icebreakers where I'm like 2 truths and a lie. I'm like, I'm just gonna come up with easy bullshit truths where I'm like, I'm left-handed, my favorite color is pink, and I'm the same reason why they play Sweet Carolina Red Sox games. And I mean, I've definitely gotten more creative. I have some more interesting truths where I can mix it in and throw people off with it. But it was always it's a good Hail Mary one just to always keep in your back pocket. I did have it as like a fun fact of mine on Hinge. A lot of people did not believe me, and to that I say, told you so.
I was gonna ask about that. Like, how often, when you told somebody, would they immediately call BS on it?
For instance, one name and address withheld. Jake's girlfriend. The first time I mentioned, she was instantly like bullshit.
Yeah, no, because and again, usually I'm more sly and coy. I'm cool with it now. I have embraced it, but I'm not coming out of the gates and being like, "Hi, I'm Caroline Fitzpatrick. I'm why they play Sweet Carolina Red Sox games." And that is because I've said that before. I've not necessarily led with it, but I've dropped it early-ish on. That people were like, "Well, I looked it up and it said that it was played in 1997 and you were born in 1998, so therefore it's not true." And it's like, okay. And Abraham Lincoln is still alive. We're listening to Google, clearly, very loyally, I can tell. Another thing is that people are like, this is a lie because the song's written about Caroline Kennedy.
Well, that's just bad reading comprehension. Open the schools.
It probably is, because Caroline Kennedy is 45 years older than me, and so is the song. I was not even a concept. I was not even a speckle when the song was released. So
Mom wasn't even a concept.
No. There's no way. So yeah, for that, just context clues, people. Come on now.
That was killing me because I guess they posted a snippet. ESPN did on it must have been Instagram or Twitter, and I went through the comments. Of course, people are calling BS on it, and I'm like, she's right there, she's in front of you. ESPN is covering the story.
That's
what
interesting.
Are people on about?
I will say I did have this later, but since we're on the topic, we can naturally bring it up. For the most part, I mean, I've seen actually positive reactions to it. I was kind of anticipating the worst, and obviously there's going to be one dickhead here and there. That it is what it is. Yeah. I wanted to ask you, Cal, what have been some of the best and or the funniest reactions to this ESPN piece that you've seen? Just a couple. We don't have to go through all of them because I know how you can get.
No, I took.
She'll name 40 of them, Liam.
I took screenshots of a handful of my favorites. And honestly, this was kind of a weight lifted because I remember after we finished filming opening day, Fitception. My mom, I don't know if you remember, there was one particular episode of Big Mouth where Andrew's mom's just like, Andrew, be very afraid of things. My mom's just like, Caroline, there will be trolls. People will be mean. I'm like, ah! But no, I'm very thankful to have overall good vibes. And even then, I've seen only in Boston posts once a year being like, Sweet Caroline. People were like, yo, fuck that baby. I'm like, the baby is here. I'm like, I don't, again, and it's I don't really think anything of it because it's not personally to me. It's just people are miffed about the Red Sox or Sweet Caroline. It's not my favorite song. I will say that. And I get it's not everyone else's or a lot of other people's cups of tea. So I don't know. It's easier to kind of compartmentalize. Don't really let it get to me too terribly.
Although I will say or Liam, you first.
I was going to ask, was there ever a point where you got existential about it? You're like, I'm the reason they play it. I have to like it. Or like, do you ever get to a point where you're like, I don't think I like it, but like, can I tell people that?
No and yes. Like, I think when I was younger and I like didn't, again, where I was like very in my shell, I was like, I don't like this and I don't fucking care that I don't. But now I'm like, I gotta respect it. I gotta give it some
Sure.
time. Like, it's kind of like a family member where you're like, oh, you love them, but you may not like them. But I love, and it is really cool, and I am blessed. #blessed. And it has, opened the door to a very, like, not everyone can say that they have been interviewed by ESPN, and that is a very cool, like, once in a lifetime thing. So I definitely don't want to, like, bite that hand. I don't, yeah.
A couple of YouTube chats in here. Matthew Gross of Over the Monster fame says, "Cheers to Sister Mopena from a fellow wine drinker."
Hey!
I would be having a Miller Lite with you right now, Cal, but it's a school night, and I don't drink on school nights.
I usually don't drink
Christy
on-
again in the chat goes, "Caroline, I don't know you, but I will defend you with my life."
Christy,
There
I
you go.
love you.
There we go.
Who's this diva? I need to queen out with her.
Now, again, you're talking about compartmentalizing there, Cal, and being like, oh, people don't take it personally, but I know you. I have known you your entire
I'm such
life.
a sensitive girly about everything.
Not yet. Well, I wasn't going to say that, but I was going to say, knowing you would get so much, like, joy out of knowing that song pisses people off.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, because I'm like another big thing in sports history today. Not to like circle over to football. I will circle back to my favorite comments in the TikToks, but Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, she pisses off.
Oh my God!
I can.
Hey,
I can
big
that
news
in.
today,
Good for
Fitz. I
them.
don't know if you heard.
I know. No, love that for them. But let's circle back. One of the TikTok comments, honest to God, said Fitzy Mopena jump scare, and that had me dying.
Yeah, because ESPN hooked us up with the tickets. That was for folks who weren't aware, the end footage of the Ford Fitzpatrick singing "Sweet Caroline," so good, so good. That's from opening day this year. That was the Cardinals game where we were up by like 15 runs, but then yeah, they had cameras on us during the day. I mean, Mom and I, Cal, we were off the hook because ESPN spoke to you and Dad, so we were kind of along for the ride.
Fitz, you didn't get any airtime? I thought maybe they just cut you.
Right at the end?
You got airtime on the Lost Media, and I don't know if behind the scenes content.
We joke about the Patreon. We don't actually have a Patreon. One of these days.
Be a springboard for your Patreon. It could be 9-year-old Brendan during the Nesson interview. Yeah.
Ooh.
I have it on my phone. But anyways, so that was Fitzy Mopena jump scare. Someone was like, if I was the basis of like this story, I would have the worst main character syndrome. And to that, I giggled and said thank, and actually had me like in tears. Someone goes, speaking of facts, my schizophrenic uncle is the reason why Plymouth Rock has a cage. Like, we love a local New England hometown hero. So that was a good one. There was one that I don't know any numerology spiritual folks in the chat there are, but I was like, I would like to bring this to the class. Someone else said, anyone else also realized the crazy coincidence to my birthday too. The Red Sox came back to win 98 times, and they have won 12 postseason games at Fenway. Her birthday's in December, so the month is 12.
Oh, makes you think.
Whoa.
I'm definitely like a a little bit of like tinfoil hat with like tarot and astrology and shit. So I was like, that tickled a certain itch for me.
Well, I want to know, Cal, about the actual process of being interviewed. How nervous were you beforehand? Were there any questions that you were surprised at during it? And then your reaction to the piece after it's since come out?
Yeah. So I honestly, leading up to it, I didn't really, because it was a long road to get there, right?
Yeah, this was in the works for a while.
Yeah, I'd say
Like a couple of years to actually,
year and a
because we
half.
kept getting interest.
Like, 'cause
Yeah, because peek behind the curtain, a buddy of mine from UMass works at ESPN and knew the story. He kept dropping. You know, again, all the interviews happened in like March, April. Obviously, the opening day game. Now it's August. So, but in any event, continue, Cal.
so it kind of been stuck in a little bit of like a development hell. Just with the team, with ESPN was in touch with like my dad and I because they wanted to use like Neil Diamond's version of Sweet Caroline in this like segment, of course. So just kind of like getting the rights to that, I feel like caused a lot of like delay. But then we eventually got word. Originally, I think we were supposed to get everything filmed for like the 2024 season. But then
it's probably good that it was delayed. That wasn't that great of a season.
There were shoots and reshoots and
they brought in a new director, right? Rewrote the script.
This is post snap. We get to 2020. And yeah, so we're able to film in March. I had a dentist on my calendar.
Well, make sure your employer's not watching this.
Yeah, no, I don't know. But yeah, so I did the interview. I was probably about like an hour or so. They had a couple questions. They had me read that Common App essay. I wasn't nervous until they started rolling because I just kept pushing it. I'm like, no, it's not gonna happen anytime. Even as I'm driving, I'm like, oh yeah, no, like this is actually like it registered that this is happening. So I did get very nervous. I honest to God, think I blacked out the entire time. I turned to my dad. It was like probably like 10-15 minutes of like me talking, and I'm like, I for all I know could have just like in.
Well, this is uncut right now, Cal, so the people will be the judge of the coherent sentences or not.
I don't know how much better I'm doing right now, but a little bit about that first interview with Nesson, getting like my 6-year-old perspective on it versus now, and it's very full circle. Talked a little bit about kind of the song and how it was related to like the Boston Marathon bombings and how it was sort of like a like rally song for the community. And I just talked about how proud I was. I don't want to be that.
I saved the city from the marathon bombings. Yeah, you heard it here first.
Ortiz spanked her in the speech. Mary Menino, Caroline Fitzpatrick.
This is a fucking city, and this is Fitzy's fucking sister. Yeah.
But yeah, just like the resilience and just like the strength that we as a whole have demonstrated, and it's just really, it's so cool to be part of something that's like so much bigger than it was intended to be, and it really kind of in the realm of the city of Boston, but also it has sprung onto international.
I did want to ask about that
and stuff. And watching it take off like that, I'm just like, wow. I was quite literally just like vibing and sleeping and just being like a little sentient blob. It's kind of crazy how that all works.
Like, did you? Of course, when it first airs, Liam, the very first fucking person they speak to is not my dad, not my sister, not even anyone associated with the Red Sox or the sport of baseball. It has to be Harry fucking Kane.
That was like
person that he's a soccer player. He's from England.
England team.
So,
got it.
but that,
I was like, wait a minute. The English national team is getting a lot of airtime.
Of course, as a big Arsenal fan, fucking Harry Kane pops right up. I was like, I can't escape this guy. That actually leads in, Cal. Like, there's no way that you could have ever known that this thing, like, not to be the like mansplaining, name up 5 sports. ESPN came and knocking. How much this has grown just beyond Fenway Park.
A little bit. Not. I think I definitely learned more in the process of like with ESPN. But I remember back Purple Diamond AMA on Reddit, and he wrote in and was like, "Hey, my cousin's the reason why they play Sweet Caroline at like Boston Red Sox games at Fenway Park. Have you ever heard of this tradition? Like, it's been going on for like a hot minute now." And Neil Diamond replied, and I don't remember exactly what he said. "I think now you need to get shout out Sean Broderick on the pod to tell his side of the tale." But from what I
just casually, damn.
Fuck you. I'm sure he'd be honored, and if I, yeah. But yeah, Neil Diamond said that he's like, I had no idea. He's like, I knew that they were playing it in like Germany, and I think it's playing like other sports in Asia. But he's like, it's so cool to see like this song, a soft spot in millions, maybe billions. I don't know, but a lot of people's like hearts and big feelings about their respective sport. Because I'm not a sports girly. I will be the first one to tell anyone that. I do enjoy going to a Sox game. I think there is something just with like the atmosphere, Fenway, and like the social aspect. And like, I'm not going to be 5-degree day, right? Like, I'm human. Exactly.
Go wrong.
And Brendan,
You've done it a couple of times already. I was hoping that you did. You did it about.
Oh shit!
Yep.
Oh no!
You're fine. Well, it's live on the YouTube, so the people in the chat know it.
It's a YouTube exclusive. It's a YouTube exclusive.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So now, fuck, I lost my train of thought. Okay, sports. I understand it brings people together. Okay, and like I could see the passion and like the emotional investment inside with that. So that's pretty cool.
That is trying to play off all the time.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's bound to get out.
No.
It's not the end of the world. Yeah.
So sorry.
It's fine. Don't worry. I think it's funny that you said no, you didn't early on. You very much did. Like, you absolutely did. I made note of it. You didn't even notice that you did it.
It seems like the interview. I blacked out. I don't remember what I said 2 minutes ago.
So there you go. Yeah, we don't even know if you're speaking coherently here.
Going off of vibes, brother.
Literally, brother.
Literally, brother.
Speaking of that brother-sister bond that you, one of the first things we said to each other after we both saw it was the same comparison. One that Christy actually made earlier in the chat, saying Fitz got Mike Wazowski.
I got Mike Wazowski. God love Dr. Charles Steinberg, friend of the program. We'd love to have him back on. That guy got so much airtime. Cal got 2 lines. What's up with that? Just me saying my name, and then like a little sound bite, I think people.
Yeah, it was the voiceover.
Yeah, it was a little sound bite. I forgot I was mic'd up and got in the vibes, and a couple of beverages sweet, and then they want me to sing, and it's like good thing you kept that in. But it's still very cool. Also, for those who don't know, I missed. And I woke up.
Yeah. Well, the magic of the internet.
It was early. It was like I was on an Amtrak back from New York, and it's like 8:15. It's just like they're about to air it. I'm trying to pull it up on the Amtrak Wi-Fi. I only caught the first half, but I watched it in full after.
I lucked out that I was up that time.
You were just up.
Yeah, and then sure shit, get the text it's about to go live, and then sign into ESPN the one time it's not a pain in the ass on Roku to sign into ESPN. Thank goodness. Saw it right there.
Yeah, but
and then Harry Kane punched me right in the face as I'm opening it up. I have an important question for you, Cal, in regards to the it was touched upon in the ESPN piece.
Yeah, I might have an important answer. I hope I do.
This was a dividing line between A.B. Toby and Dr. Charles Steinberg, as a matter of fact. What is your opinion on Sweet Caroline being played when the Red Sox are losing in the middle of the 8th inning?
You know, I'm okay with it because I feel like if it's the one thing that kind of can somewhat preserve like the good time vibes, and keep spirits relatively up-ish, then I welcome it and I think it's okay. And there's you know, Sir Paul McCartney said, take a sad song, make it better. Although Sweet Caroline's not a sad song. It would be like the Red Sox losing would be the sad song. But anything just to kind of make the situation at hand a little lighter, a little funner.
They're going to yell at you for that
think
take because there are people like, it should only be when they're winning or they're tied.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, like I would prefer if they're winning, tied, or if they're only down by like one. Like it is tough to get like when they give up 10 runs and they're down by 20 and then they start here where it began. Like
I don't need it right there.
I could see how that could irritate some people. Where it's
but
like,
I'm always going to sing
really
it
not doing
because
well,
of the connection.
and the last thing you want to hear is like the da-da-da-da, and people are going to read the goddamn room.
But here's the thing. A lot of that, I think, are just paper tigers for the most part. Like, people just yelling about it online. And people are entitled to their own opinion. I have yet to see people make up I've been to many Red Sox games. I've been to so many. Believe me, I've been to a lot of baseball games. Okay. I've yet to see, like, anyone, like, audibly be like, oh, my God, this. Whenever it's on, even if they're losing, people will sing it. From my experience.
Yeah. Like, I've never seen anyone, like get... And again... To be fair, a lot of the times I don't keep track of the game. Unless if it's like they're straight up having a wonderful time or straight up like not having a good time. And, like any marginal differences, I'm like, I don't really notice. I got my glizzy. Although no, not glizzy. I don't like glizzies. But you know, I have my snack and beverage and I'm content. I'm a winner no matter what the outcome of the game is. So but I agree. I think people just like to have big feelings and post them online.
I would suggest to anyone who complains about Sweet Caroline, they should direct their ire instead at people doing the wave at Fenway Park when the Red Sox are losing.
Yes, I think
that is my suggestion.
That goes over more like a bad fart in church than Sweet Caroline would, in my opinion.
100%. To your guys' point, Fitz, like yourself, I've been to many Red Sox game. I've never actually seen anyone,
you have, and people have yelled at you about it.
If you haven't heard. And I've never seen like anybody be a curmudgeon about it in my immediate area. Because how could you? Like, so my rule is when it comes to the wave, if we're losing, I'm going to sit. I'm not going to take part in that. But if it's Sweet Caroline, like regardless, I'll stand up.
Yeah, and you can enjoy Sweet Caroline and sit and just like plop and just like, you know, take a load off. You can't really do that with the wave. That requires like aerobic activity.
The whole body's part of it.
It's a whole effort.
The wave is also I have if people want to do the wave, that's fine. It is what it is. I won't partake every time. I enjoy myself a nice wave when they're winning. It's unbecoming when someone tries to start the wave in center field or right field. I think it's baseball. I think 3 strikes and you're out. If you don't get it by the 3rd time, you should be asked to leave the premises. So if you really want that wave, you got to get people in your section to go. Because like when people try to it's like an old lawnmower. If they try to get it up like 5 or 6 times and it's still not going, it's unbecoming.
Just from like
it's incredibly unbecoming
standpoint, I feel like it has the same energy as watching like a conga line. And you know when the conga line kind of breaks off into like 2, and there's one person who was originally in like the middle of the conga line.
I've seen crashing waves at Fenway before, like going
the conga line, and they have to run out with little T-Rex arms to like try to reattach to the conga line. It's the same type of just like oh no baby, what are you doing?
It's tough to watch.
Stop the conga line right now, please.
It's tough to time it with the monster too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna do it, lock in, commit, get it right, get it precise, or don't do it at all. You know?
There you go. I hear that.
That's a tea on that.
What goes through your mind whenever you hear Sweet Caroline now, Cal? If you could sum it up even in like 1 to 3 words. You heard it here first. That's.
I really and truly am just kind of like along for the vibe. Like you know, like the jellyfish in SpongeBob where they like take over his house and
Yeah.
just kinda, like,
That's
that's just kind of like where I go. Like, 'cause usually if I'm at like a Red Sox game, I'm with like either like our like family. We always almost end up running into like half of our cousins or something, or it's like, oh, my friend's here, your friend's here, and it always just kind of ends up where I never end up in my assigned seat is the long and short of it, because I'm bopping around, or almost all roads lead back to the Truly Terrace, right? So I'm just kind of in like
bullpen for the true heads.
Oh no, we pre and post at bullpen, but like during
That's absolutely right.
Truly Terrace is kind of where I'm stationed more often than not.
Yeah.
But yeah, just I don't know, just kind of like, yeah, and like I'm like I try not to be like, oh, that's me, but then like my friends will be like, this is her, it's about her, and then I'm just kind of like, hi. So yeah, no, just try to have a good time. During one of our cousins' weddings, you and one of our other cousins, we have a shit ton of cousins, by the way.
We have a lot of cousins.
We have a lot.
We have a lot
I
of
truly think
big
like
Irish family.
Huge ass Irish family. You two yeeted me up in the air, and I had a little crowd surfing moment. Like, that was fun. But that was not at a Red Sox game. But
Which one's that at? It was Katie's,
St.
right?
Patrick's Day, yeah, 2017.
That's what I thought. It was Katie's. Yeah.
I'm trying not to dox any more of our cousins. So.
We've got so many of them.
I know.
You've already doxed your one brother, so
Names on like both sides and stuff. Like, we have 2 of this name, 2 of that. Like, it's a lot to keep track of.
Cal, I had one more question for you.
Yes.
With the pending return of Justin Slayton into the bullpen, with questions surrounding Masataka Yoshida's performance at the plate, and with the loss of players such as Marcelo Meyer, what do you think the Red Sox should do over the last month and change in terms of roster moves as they prep for a wild card run, or dare I say, the American League East?
Well, step 1, drink water. Good self-care.
Can't forget that.
It's important.
I don't know. I think it's a good place to start. I don't know. Fucking don't be a sore winner. Don't be a sore loser. Warm up before you go on the field. I don't know. Just do your best. I hope both teams have a really great time, but I hope the Red Sox
No, not both.
No, I said I hope that both have fun, but the Red Sox have significantly more fun.
Look at you. You're just a humanist at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm the people's princess. What can I say?
Cal, anything else you want? Or Liam, did you have any other questions?
No, this was great.
Cal, anything you want to plug? Don't expect baseball content from Caroline Fitzpatrick. Sweet Caroline.
I know I'm not your girl for baseball content, really, unless if you want to talk about like the street meat in the bullpen of it all.
You're big on the street meat.
Oh, like Italian sausage.
The sausage guy on Lansdowne. Shout out.
Peppers,
Shout out.
Onions. You gotta get spicy mustard, and primo snacking. I understand that you had one Jared Carabas on for a Disney episode, and I know that it's...
Yeah, you got very upset about me for that.
I would like a follow-up episode, please, if the people would so have me.
We'll see what we could do in the off season. Well, you got to understand, like having like the big Red Sox Twitter guy to talk about the Tower of Terror, like that's the pot on Lansdowne difference.
Yeah, but also, I'm part of lore, you know?
We didn't know that before. I didn't want to break the news.
Well, now we know, and now I'd like to formally request...
It's kind of funny that ESPN scooped us on our own big story. Like we had the answer in-house, and we still got beat.
I know,
I
Fitz,
told you
you had been
several
holding
times.
it close to the vest for a long time.
Yeah, Liam knew. Jake knew.
Mm-hmm. Liam, were you the one that my mom approached at the end of Brendan's wedding? Was like, who are you?
Yep.
Yep. we're in line at the bus. Guys,
Hi, Mom.
who are you?
Because I know Cal for like 20 minutes, she was definitely asking like our uncles, like looking like, do we know him? Do we know him?
I had a feeling you were like in the Red Sox Twitter conglomerate, because I'm like, I know you're like childhood friends. Obviously, I know your high school friends. I know your college friends. So I'm like these are friends he
And
made.
then it was just me and Jake.
I think Jake had left by that point. Jake dipped.
I think he had. Yeah,
He was
this
eepy.
kinda late. This was towards the end of the night. Yeah.
He was eepy. I tired. We can make fun of Jake because he's not here right now. But who was here this entire time was Sweet
Marshall?
Caroline, aka my beloved sister. Cal, did you want to plug anything?
No, just send my hellos to the missus and my nephew.
All right. Well, again, thank you very much, Cal, for joining us on the pod. if we do another Disney episode, I'll drop you a line.
We'll
Okay.
be in touch. I'm so ready. I'm so there.
So good.
So good. But
So
thank
good.
you so much. This was such a fun Tuesday evening.
Sure was.
I'm sorry that I broke the cardinal rule.
Yeah, whatever you say.
Yeah, he'll edit it out.
All right. Thank you.